We start out on a particularly serious note, but an uplifting one. My guest is here to talk to us about detecting and surviving breast cancer. J. Paul, our director. Let's meet Laurie Mathis, who is a nurse navigator, breast clinic, Forsyth Medical Center. Welcome, Laurie. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Let me just start off. I want to talk about your personal situation in just a second, but how prevalent is breast cancer these days?
Well, 1 in 7 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in 2007. A little over 200,000 women.
And of course, the key nationally, and the key there when you say diagnosed, because now I'm going to ask you about mammograms. Everybody said, "Oh, sure, everybody goes to get mammograms." Now, obviously, mammograms can save lives. True.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So here's my big question. Frida Springs was showing me some data that came in, which I couldn't believe. That nationally, there's a problem, right?
Right.
And what's that? That people are not getting the mammograms?
Well, nationally, it looks like there's a decline in the number of women that are getting their mammograms. We haven't necessarily seen that here in our area.
In fact, you've seen some pretty good steady increases.
We have seen some pretty good steady increases here in our area.
And because you're doing creative things. I think you're doing what, mobile?
We have a mobile mammography unit from the breast clinic here in Winston-Salem that goes out to surrounding counties, that reaches those women in surrounding counties. Makes it a little more convenient for the women
to
get there. Very accessible. There's not a lot of wait time for the women to get their mammogram.
Now, in your situation, when were you diagnosed?
2 weeks before my 40th birthday.
Bless your heart.
I went for my very first mammogram and was diagnosed.
What did you think when they told you?
Well, I was pretty devastated. You know, I didn't expect to hear. I had not had any problems that I had detected, so I was just blown away. I wasn't expecting to hear.
But everything went well. Now, that's how many years ago? I don't mean to tell your age, but I mean the point of this is to talk about surviving and that
That's
kind of thing.
okay, because I'm very proud to say that this month is my 10th anniversary of survivorship. So
that's just great.
Very fortunate.
Well, you know, here's the thing. You guys make mammograms so accessible to people. And nationally, we've seen the decline. Locally, we've seen that people are taking advantage of what you're doing, and that's a good thing. And yet, I've talked to women who've actually said to me in confidence, I don't think I'm going to get a mammogram. And I'll say, well, why? This is because I don't want to know.
Right.
What is that all about?
We hear that very frequently. Women say, I would just rather not know. But the fact is that when women are diagnosed at an earlier stage, breast cancer is very treatable. It is curable in the earliest stages. Mammogram is still the #1 best way to detect early breast cancer.
And you can do self-exams.
We use a 3-pronged approach: breast self-exams, clinical exams, and mammography. Not just one approach, but all 3 together help save lives.
Yeah, it's because you've got 3 ways to go on that. And kind of like men with prostate cancer, there are different, digital exams, and then there are, the PSA blood tests. So we've got the technology, we've got the science, and I just hope people take advantage of it. And will you come back sometime just talk about your personal experience?
I sure will.
I know you helped us with the statistics and everything today, but it's still inspiring. Maybe we can get you back.
Thank you.
And before we leave, here's our information on Forsyth Medical Center, who is good enough to let us talk with Laurie, and the information's up on screen. All the good folks at Forsyth Medical Center, and they do a great job, especially with making these mammograms more accessible.